Hello, are you out there? It's Mark with Redo Over, and we are back after a couple of weeks off to Stellaris 4.0 Vanilla, no DLC. You know the whole thing. I'm in a new location here. I am in the finished attic space of the new house that I moved into over here in Berkeley, California. So there you go. I've arrived in Berkeley. It's a nice place though, but I'm on the third floor. So this is going to be an experiment in extreme heat and cold throughout the year. We'll see how it goes. There's no actual air handling in this place. It's pretty nice right now. So the sound quality may be a little different. Certainly the lighting is different. There's a ceiling right here, like I'm touching it with my hand because it's a sloping like roof attic space. Yeah, the full size door is there, and then down at that side, it goes down to about 12 inches with some vents and stuff. What are you gonna do? It's kind of cool. It's like a man cave. So yeah, now you know. Now you know why it's different. Okay. We left off with a couple of things. We were going to get some Corvettes built. We have almost no alloys, which is fine. Let's just jump into the few station. What are they working on over here? Shipyard, a colony ship. We have a colony ship. And I was told in the comments section that I can safely remove that colony ship and get the resources back because I had accidentally built two of them in like episode 10 or 11. So hold on, let's just make sure we have one of the colony ships. Yes, it's right there. That colony ship, if you folks recall, is for the desert world that we verified is habitable in the Castor system. And do they have commands to head there? Yes. So let's take the risk based off of my faith in the comment section. If we're going to get rid of this, let's see if I click on it. Oh yes, we were at 220. Oh, yay. Thank you, commenter. You just got us 200 consumer goods, 200 food, and 200 alloy back. Listen, a lot of the fun for me of doing these like little videos, because I don't make any money, making a video that gets 200 views, right? You can imagine I'm making like pennies here. But I learn a lot more about the game by thinking critically about it and talking through it to you folks. But for my own sake, yeah, I mean, I know the game pretty well, but like doing this makes me dig in. And that's really the fun of it. And I've probably doubled or tripled my knowledge about Stellaris over the last year doing these little Stellaris tutorials. I'm tutoring myself as well as anyone else. But now I know with confidence that you can remove things from that ship queue and reclaim those resources. Thanks to some brave commenter out there. Whew, awesome. So we want to build a couple Corvettes. There we go. Remember, we're trying to push this up to max our naval capacity, which will increase the influence coming off of our power projection. So that was one of the things we wanted to work on. Very cool. Another thing we're looking at is we're keeping an eye on our influence because we still have to claim two more systems here. The Saunus system and the Castor system itself. So what is the Canway doing here? Let's just click. They are building a mining station. That's okay. I think we wanted the very valuable mineral station here. Yeah, there's a 6. I think we're just going to build that one mining station because it's so valuable. 6 minerals for 1 energy upkeep. And then we're going to scoot the Canway on and claim the Saunus, if I'm saying that correctly, system. So that's in pretty good shape. And it's been a crazy couple weeks. I literally lived without my computer set up here for 2 weeks, if you guys can believe that. Just in a box. Because the move was so massive. 6 people. 2 1.5 households worth of stuff condensing down. It was nuts. And sadly, I know this isn't Stellaris related. I only had like a tablespoon of coffee beans left this morning, so this is the weakest, saddest cup of coffee I've ever brewed in my life. It's so fucking disappointing. It just makes me want to cry. But here we are. So, all right. Isius Prime. We are in the early stages of the game. One of the things you do early on is build buildings and districts, right? You explore. We do a lot of exploring, but yeah, right now it's building time. and your planetary building site is based off of minerals, right? So you can imagine later in the game we're going to need big fleets to fight wars and fight off alien entities and stuff, right? We're going to want tens of thousands of alloys coming in. But right now, we don't have any enemies. We really don't need tens of thousands of alloys, but we do need minerals. Now, I say that because conversely, later in the game, your planets might be built up considerably, or you're just kind of dabbling in a few new colonies, and you don't need a massive amount of minerals, or you've banked tens of thousands of minerals. And you won't need minerals so much then. So sometimes you have to switch your priorities depending on what stage of the game you're in. I think I've expressed that. It's worth thinking about. My point is, changing up the makeup of what your colonies and or civilization are doing is fine. That is the point. It's not meant that you just do one thing, pedal to the floor the entire way. That's a car speed reference, I guess. Pedal to the floor, is that a thing people say? Shit. I didn't say balls to the wall, but I didn't want to gross anybody out. Balls to the wall. That's what I mean. So we're going to switch Isius from an ecclesiastical center, which gives us nice bonuses to our priests. We are going to click over here on the stack, and we're going to drop down to a mining world. This will mean our mining districts build 25% faster, and our miner output is plus 25%. So let's watch the plus 39 up here. We're going to switch this over, and we have enough minerals, 773. Let's get another mining district going at 300 mineral. And we want to make sure intellectually we have enough people to do that job. Right now, we have people just doing the colonist job. I still want to build it. Or they don't have anything to build queue, so I'm going to have them build a mining district. And then let's go to the No tab and deprioritize colonists. We'll be careful because we don't want to mess up anything with amenities or whatever. I guess our priests have the amenities handle. Check this out. It's plus 720. So let's do a quick breakdown here and look at the difference between what a colonist is yielding us versus what a miner would yield us. So what happens if we deprioritize our 200 or... Yeah, we deprioritize 20 of them. We're down to 180, but see, what are colonists producing for us? Upkeep. Yes, upkeep. Is it really showing us what they build? Come on, guys. Sorry, I'm stumbling here. They get you planetary build speed? Yeah, planetary infrastructure speeds, automatic... No, that's not them, though. Just trying to see what they build specifically. Produces, trade, planetary build speed, stability, happiness is the thumbs up icon, relocation... What the hell do they call it? Resettlement chance. That's the little bindle. That's another thing I learned from the comments section. The little bag on a stick that a hobo would carry traditionally when they were riding the rails back in, say, Depression era United States is called the bindle. Something I learned playing Stellaris. Thank you again, comments section. And then finally, amenities. Okay, that's what the colonists are getting us. That's not bad. I mean, I'm looking at the planetary build speed plus 9%. That's we can take that back, right? That's essentially 1% for every 20 colonists, right? 180 colonists are yielding 9% to us, to give you an idea of what planetary build speed is doing. So yeah, versus our miners are going to get us a little bit of trade, no planetary build speed, a little bit of stability, a little bit of happiness, no resettlement things. And okay, yeah, all right, here we go. I'm overthinking it. Let's just take this down. Be a little bit cautious here. Let's stop there. And I just want to see what happens to Isius's numbers. Let's go back to the surface level. Let's just watch this as we roll past the month here. So we'll push through a whole month. fastest rate. Pausing right there. So what updated? Amenities shifted a bit. We have one unemployed Babaki specialist. Oh. Well, no, that should have affected it because colonists are worker class as well as miners. They fall in the same worker category, so that shouldn't have bothered anything. No, that's fine. All right. Yeah, we're in great shape. Our stability's at 77%, almost no crime, plenty of housing. So, yeah, that's sitting pretty good. We have a lot of jobs. Well, we have jobs available because you notice the jobs available is sitting at 16, but we actually have about 120 colonist jobs available if we were to run out of jobs. Now, it's possible because we have so few jobs available right now that it would decrease the resettlement chances. But we've just been spending a little bit of, unity or energy to move people from Fula citizens over to Isius Prime. Once the new mining district is finished, which did it complete? There's no way it completed that fast. Oh, that's a build queue right there. Once it's finished, we'll have another 200 mining jobs. So I think we're sitting pretty. Let's see what the survey looks like. Castor is completely surveyed. Awesome. Let's move the ISS Amon on to Jalwar? Joralwar? So it's an ocean world. We can see that already. Potentially habitable. So if I click in here... Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, without a ship in there, you don't see it completely, but they know there's a potentially habitable planet. Let's run in there. Let's send them to fully survey that, and I don't know, we might have our other survey ship backtrack into these couple of star systems here later. We're still pushing out our boundaries within the small galaxy we're in, trying to see where our borders with the Xeno is. The aliens. Where are the aliens? We haven't found them yet, but they're out there. They're out there, folks. Possibly we found some aliens down in this arm here. But yeah, let's run that clock forward. We may want to see if we can transfer more people off of Fula. Are they still, still working on the mining station here? The Kit Canway. There we go. So we'll close these two alerts down. We're going to move the Canway onto Saunus, and we're going to build that starbase. Coming in at 67 influence, 90 alloy. No problem. We'll easily have enough influence by the time they finish that to claim the Castor system. And you can see our colony ship is starting to move en route right now. I'm going to save back a little bit of alloy for the next star system, but certainly we'll keep an eye on our... that's one of the exploration tasks. Can I click on that? Yeah. Let me pause that real quick. So... I believe when we fill up these bars here under the Empire timeline, this is a new thing they threw into 4.0. I think it's mainly to direct newer players on good steps to take, like smart things to do with your time and your Empire management. And I believe when you complete the 20 out of 100 or 20 out of 50 in this case, 10 out of 50, you'll get little progress towards research. It might give you 20% of the progress towards some research category, mining lasers or, colony development. I don't know. It doesn't really specify. Increases the chance for exploration tasks. It doesn't really specify what the reward would be. Cost 50 unity to switch. Let's see up here. Do we see what we get? No. Milestone. Selected our ascension perk. Principality Fulu established colony in Ilsa Prime. Those are our first new colony, maybe, possibly. It's kind of a fun idea, but I don't know how valuable it is specifically chasing after these. I think it's the kind of thing you'd have to play through. And I'm looking here, let's just look at Finish an Archaeology Site. Finish an Archaeology Site is an exploration focus. Hint, assign a scientist to an archaeology site to guide them through the event. Okay? So it's tutoring you. It's like an in-game tutorial. requirements: has to finish an archaeology site, reward, add 25 progress to the exploration focus. So again, this is sort of the opaqueness of what the Empire timeline does. It, it's telling us just how to finish the archaeology site. It tells us that we'll make 25 progress points to this bar over here, but when the bar is full, what do we get? I may be missing something, but I'm looking around at this window and I don't know what the reward is specifically. Is it my current research? No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a reward for specific research, because you'll notice that exploration, conquest, and development don't strictly relate to the 3 categories of technological advancement. So it's not like exploration gives you physics research, right? And society research is green, and none of these are green. So I don't know what the hell's going on. So it questionable, but I mean, in general, I think it's a fun concept. We'll poke around with it, but so far I'm not sure what the value is. And I've also heard that mentioned in the comments, where some people are saying, like, you can just ignore it. It's not going to do that much for you. So we'll check in on it occasionally. So here's a special project completed. I believe that was right here. This was the ISS Atalante. So scientist Salen Ann has managed to partially translate the alien mural discovered on Haltham 1. It is a memorial for an extinct alien race that once maintained a small interstellar empire in this region of the galaxy. They were apparently exterminated by the creators of the mural, a fact that they seem to regret. The exterminators, not the exterminated, obviously. Given that the mural has been dated to be in excess of 300 million years old, it is likely that its creators are also extinct by now. Perhaps most interesting of all is the material that the mural was made of. Despite its age, it is in remarkably good condition. Amazing. So Salen Ann gains 200 experience points towards her levels, which is nice. And engineering research gained 250. That'll go into the engineering research piggy bank. New trait for Salen Ann, expertise in computing. Excellent. So we click on this, we get Salen Ann popping up, and she's got level 1, so she didn't have it. So that's nice. She is now great at computing, although she's not our head of research, so can't really use her for that. But she's got quite a few. She's got Champion of the People, which would be effective as she's a counselor, obviously. And finally, she is an archaeologist for when we have her dig up the Rigel system, the little shovel there. We have one archaeological site, but we're not going to pursue that yet. Usually better to sit on your archaeological site till a little bit later in the game. We only have 2 science ships, so we're kind of limited on that right now. Okay, perfect. And let's go to our available traditions. We are rocking through here, of course, because we are gaining such a chunk of unity each turn. But we're down to just 2 choices here. The Courier Network, which would reduce our empire size from systems and planets by 25%. That's about useful. Like, we're really nudging up, but it's not useful yet, just because we haven't quite hit 100%. So we're closing in there. Although I do think with your edicts funds, having a number less than 100 in empire size does give you discounts. So there's probably a tiny use, but it's not urgent yet. What else do we have here? The Galactic Ambition. Starbase upkeep minus 20%. It's not bad. Now, when it says Starbase, I believe that's just the big ones, folks, not the space stations, right? Mining stations are not star bases, right? I know we've had that discussion. It's never obvious. I think the issue for me is that stations and star bases and space stations is a lot of S's, the letter S. So, geez, we're nudging up on. They're both gonna be useful. Let's not overthink it. I think the order that we get them in isn't gonna matter too much. Period. Let's take the Galactic Ambition, because ultimately we do have a space station, so theoretically it could save us an energy. I don't know. We'll watch the 13 here. Let's grab it. There you go. We'll see if this nudges over here. Oh, we gained 2 energy back. Oh, excellent. That's fantastic. Colony ship is closing in on the caster system. Oh. Ooh, is this a first contact? Yeah. Incoming transmission. The Xabiran, let's see. Xabiran protectors, stagnant ascendancy, holy guardians. Okay, folks, this is an advanced alien civilization. This isn't like some little baby. They're not in parity with us. They're not our peers. These guys are the holy guardians, badass. We would not want to mess with them. Maybe we're nudging up against their territory, possibly? Or they've detected us poking around the galaxy and they're just reaching out to us to probably to threaten our existence. Let's see what they say. Another child. Know that we are the Xabiran protectors, the chosen people of this galaxy. Respect our holy places, and we may refrain from annihilating you. So yeah, that's what they say. How should we respond? This meeting is surely a blessing. By the way, it's saying the Xabiran protectors care little for our diplomatic maneuvering. They're not impressed. What if we say we have no desire for conflict? Same thing. They care little for our diplomatic maneuvering. And finally, you walk the path of heresy, alien scum. And also, they care little for our diplomatic maneuvering. None of those do anything. It's not even going to adjust the your standing with them, their outlook towards you. It's not even like a -5 or +5. It's nothing. You can say anything you want, but we'll just be pleasant. We are spiritualists as well, so that's probably could be very handy for us. One of the most powerful. So we're going to say this meeting is surely a blessing. There you go. Now, this alien species being spiritualist and us being spiritualist, right? Let's just check. I always forget. Yeah, we're fanatic spiritualists. We're even more spiritual than they are. We're gonna let them know about it. Oh yeah, we're gonna go door knocking. Just anybody in the planet? Hey, you want to hear about our religion? We have pamphlets, and then we're gonna colonize their holy worlds. We'll see. So, it should be beneficial though, because ultimately they're at a small level, their outlook towards us should be more favorable. I think, I mean, these people have been working on this game with Stellaris for 7-8 years now. I'm pretty sure they put it in there that this fallen empires, the sleeping alien giants, match up better with people that are aligned towards them. Yeah, unless maybe they're authoritarian and then authoritarians don't like each other. I doubt it. I think authoritarians love each other, actually. So, first alien encounter. The news that we have encountered intelligent alien life for the first time has been received with mixed feelings by our populace. This confirms that what we had long expected. We are not alone in this galaxy. Each new alien species we encounter represents both an opportunity and a threat. We must be wary. Is this like a news broadcast? Yeah. This is like the ticker down here. I'll do it. These particular Xenos appear to have been active in the galactic stage for some time. Their empires likely thousands of years old, and their technology is far ahead of our own. Should we be careful when dealing with them? News at 7. This changes everything. Excellent. So it's fun to do little silly voices. Yeah, what are you gonna do, folks? You can do silly voices. What do we got running here? Let's jump into Fula real quick. And do we have some civilians to transport over to Isius, our mining world? Because we can see that they have finished their mining project. So there's probably a lot of jobs over there. So we're on Fula. We have 1,200 civilians, 1.12K. Yeah, let's do it. Let's shift some out. So we will go to the no tab. We will resettle. We are Isius Prime selected here. Fula is the feeder. I mean, it looks like you go back and forth, but who do we want? We want civilians. Do we care which type of civilian? Oh my gosh. Whoa, look at how many types of civilians we have. Oh, okay. I can't. Okay. I am curious. I am so curious. I don't think it matters. Let's take them from this group. Here we go. It's 100 energy per 100. Sure. Boom. Boom. We sent 200 over, nearly reducing this category to nothing. Okay, let's shrink this down. I'm curious, so let's jump into our civilians tab. What the breakdown is here. This hasn't updated yet, but that right there, that 207 will drop to 7. But here we go. So there's spiritualist, docile desert, pacifist, spiritualist, pacifist, spiritualist. Oh my gosh, there's got to be... Oh, they're faction. They're faction. Okay. Yeah, these folks here are members of the Union of Divine Guidance. These folks are members of the Peaceful Progress Network. And these people aren't. They're spiritualists, not unlike these spiritualists, but these spiritualists have not joined the faction of the Union of Divine Guidance. Okay, does that matter? Hell if I know. I'm guessing Paradox put this into the game just so you can see the breakdown. But again, I don't know what the function would be. If I ship every single member of the Peaceful Progress Network faction over to Elisa Prime right now, I don't think it changes anything about the factions, how they work, what their payout is. Unless possibly a faction existing on your capital world has some magnifying benefit because it's the seat of political influence in your empire. That would be the only thing where I could see there could be a slight bonus, but otherwise, I don't think it matters where the members of your factions are distributed throughout your empire spatially. So, geostellarly, as we say on this channel. I don't think it matters, but yeah. Okay. All right. No big deal. Let's jump over to Isius though real quick, and let's make sure that our miners are popping into these jobs. So we have 167 available jobs. We can see we have 233 miners in there. We have gotten a little bit more crime, still plenty of housing, and our population is up to 900. That's good. I mean, again, we want to push that curve up because colonies grow so slowly at the start. This is looking good though, and we only have 3 unemployed specialist pops. I guess we need more priest job. We need more priest positions because all 400 priests are employed, and people want to be priests. Everyone wants to be a gosh darn priest. What can I say? They're fantastic. We love priests. But no, we have a lot of minor jobs left available. You can see we are pushing up our minerals significantly. We were 39 when we started, and we're up to 54 now with just a couple of quick changes. Only a few months have passed in the game. That looks good. But let's jump over to Elisa? Okay, Elisa. How are we doing here? 510 pops, no available jobs. Okay, and we're running them as an industrial world, so we have the minerals. It would be worth getting some more jobs built out. Let's take a quick look at... Yeah, I mean, we want metallurgists. Why do we have soldiers here? I have no recollection of why there are soldiers here. Maybe Slippery Beard is giving us soldiers? Is this one of the things he does? I guess. Shoot, I don't know why we have soldier jobs. That seems weird. Okay. I'm not going to sweat it. Reassembled ship shelter comes with 100 soldier jobs. That's where they're coming from. Okay. Well, that explains it. I don't think we need them. So what do we want? We want... Oh, God, I would love to do a specialization. Can we? Yeah, we can. We have 1.2k minerals. Okay, check this out. We could do a mixed industry. We could go heavy industry or civilian industry, which would be specialization. So what are the benefits here? Okay, if we go with mixed industry, which is kind of what... Yeah, right now, Elisa Prime is an industry world. So this, I think, would track well. It would be 50 metallurgist jobs, 50 artisan jobs, minus 200 housing. in plus 3 building slots. Right, here, 1, 2, 3. Right, we will unlock these 3 building slots. We don't need them yet, FYI, because we still got building slots, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Can we afford the hit to the housing? Yeah, we have overhead on the housing yet. We won't cut too deeply. Going from 790 housing to 590 housing is fine. Yeah, we haven't done a specialization yet. We're here to try new things. So let's click on it, and I think we should go with mixed industry because we have a limited number of worlds right now, only 3. They can't be overly specialized. They have to kind of be non-specialized. Generalist. We have to be general. Yes, there we go. So mixed industry is the right choice. It will take a while to build that. 306 days. That's not bad. Okay. And that'll help push up our consumer goods and our alloys. So everything is pushing forward at this point. Once that industry thing is done, that industry thingy, industrial specialization is done, we could see about shifting people from Fula over to Elysia Prime. That's really going to eat into our housing, though, so we got to be slightly careful. We finished Jural War survey, and it turns out that, in fact, this ocean world is... We currently cannot colonize this planet. Why? Because it's not inside of our borders. Okay, but otherwise we could. It would be a 20% ocean world, so horrible for us to colonize. All right, no problem. Let's send our science ship onward, though. Do we backfill? Do we send them back? Or do we push further out into the galaxy? Now, I can tell you that in general, pushing your borders out far is a good idea. You should do that. You should expand your borders. Oh, crud. My other science ship has been sitting idle this whole effing time. The ISS Amon. All right, I'm talking too much here, folks. Yeah, let's push our borders forward. Here's the thing about backfilling is that once we've claimed the Castor system, these systems are locked off. Same up here. These 2 systems are completely locked off from the other species of the galaxy for the time being. So ultimately, they're ours. They're in our... I don't want to say they're in our territory, but they're out of reach of everyone else but us. So functionally, it's like a half territory. It's like a half claim, right? By virtue that no one can get there, we can consider them ours for the time being, even though we haven't fully surveyed or claimed them, right? So, yeah, we probably want to push our borders out. The other thing to consider is if we were running 4 or 5 science ships, we'd have a lot more leeway as to what our science ships were doing. We could have one of them excavating an archaeological site. We could have 3 of them pushing out our borders, right, here to the galactic southeast into the galactic southwest or the west. And we could even have one doing the backfilling, right, working on little research projects, research anomalies, and filling in these little crevasses within the pockets of the space lanes of the galaxy. But we're super limited. 2 ships, the best use of them is to push our borders forward for now. Now, you might be like, well, why are we having this conversation? If that's just the best choice, why even consider it? Well, we're not militarily very powerful. Not only do we only have 15 ships out of the 23 we could have, our corvettes. There we go. Build 3 more. Every time I think to, I'll build a few more. But the longer it takes for our boundaries to bump up against an alien civilization, the more time we have to build up our fleet, to build up the infrastructure, to claim our colonies, to develop. In particular, because our species is not leveraged towards warfare at all. It may behoove us to be more insular, right? We're pacifist spiritualists, right? Yeah, we are pacifist spiritualists. All right, so let's lean into that. Let's backfill. Let's have them run over here, survey the system. I'm deliberately playing in a way that just lends itself to our strengths, to the zeitgeist of our people. Yeah. And then let's move on. This science ship here, they are going to continue to survey the system. The reason they stopped surveying, by the way, here at I can never read that Halvim, is because we had them do the special project there, and when that completed, we didn't give them new orders, so it clicked them off of the survey mission. So we'll have the two of them continue surveying at this point. Let's just double check the Conway is ready to move on. We're going to go build the starbase, so they'll be racing ahead of the colony ship, and the colony ship is also en route. So we'll have the Castor system claimed and colonized very shortly here. How are we doing on time, folks? 35 minutes? Okay, not bad. Yeah, let's run the clock forward. Let's jump back at the Isius Prime. Amenities are in the dumpster. We're going to pause that. So, why are amenities so low? I thought with all of our priest jobs, we would be sitting pretty. Let's just jump over. We need more priests, obviously. No, let's move the 42 people out of the civilian jobs into colonist jobs. That should generate, and we have 2 unemployed workers. That should help stabilize these amenities. Right now we're at minus 7.2% happiness because of low amenities, which is ultimately affecting our overall stability and the researchers some jobs. So let's go back to the Nono tab. Let's jump into our workers category and let's re-enable. This is interesting. Why are we at a minus 40 on the minor jobs? I show 400 miners working. So this is fascinating. What am I not understanding about this? 400 people, 280 plus 120 is 400 even. But these are oh my gosh. Planetary habitability is at minus 10%. Minus 10%. Yeah, so 10% of 400 is 40. So that's literally what's happening, is that although we have the workers doing the jobs, it's waste essentially. They are in the jobs, but they're only 90% efficient. And the way the game is representing that is by shaving off 5 or 10 or 15 or 20%. So if we were to inhabit that new ocean world we surveyed at 20%, that means that no matter how many people we had in the job, so this chart here represents 100% in 5% increments. No matter how many workers, it represents 100% of all the jobs. So we would be sitting down here with only these first 4 in the green and the other 16 in the red if we were to colonize that ocean world. So it's actually kind of cool. It's a simple graphical, to us, representation, a visual representation of the inefficiencies of the low habitability. I think that's kind of cool. Easy way to see it. But yeah, let's click this up. We might as well take it all. Well, we don't want to be too crazy here. Hold on. No. There we go. We'll hover right in that range, right? We don't want to pull people away from our mining jobs, but by pushing up and re-employing these people properly, right? We got rid of the unemployed workers and the unemployed civilians. That should help with the amenities quickly, I'm hoping. Let's jump back to the surface. Let's run the clock forward. I want to see what happens here. There we go. Yeah, that's better. We're at 84, positive 84. Stability jumped way up, and that means efficiency from all these people. I think they were at about a plus 10% to resources from jobs. Now they're at 16.8, so we gained a good 6 or 7% efficiency to all jobs just by making that little, like, hey, you guys go to work, go do something. And it was a simple slider change. But the reason I mess with the sliders at all is because I want to make sure my people are doing the minor jobs, not the colonist jobs, preferentially. So, but this seems to be the right balance. Almost no one is unemployed on this whole colony. Everyone's working, and things are trucking along really nicely. Build queue. Oh, that's right. We're doing that. It's almost done here at Lisa Prime. We'll be able to take a look. Very cool. What do we have here? New trait. What did Drowned Morgan get? Principled. Awesome. Wow, look at Drowned Morgan. Level 3. Where's Principled? Empire effect as a counselor, plus 2% stability. That is fantastic. And of course, Drowned Morgan is our Minister of State. So that plus 2 stability affects all of our colonies. All 3 of them gain that plus 2 stability. And I will remind folks that these leader traits are not multiplied by the official level, I think. I'm always unsure of that, but can we verify that? Let's see here. Yes. As we look down in stability, right here, principled, plus 2, not plus 6. So leader traits are not multiplied by leader level. We've proven that, because if they were, that would be at a plus 6, not a plus 2. Okay, and then let's just jump to another world here. We'll jump to Elisa Prime. We'll mouse over. There's principled again. There we go. There we go. Right there. Right there. I gotta pause the game because I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Did I pause? No. I'm back. Oh, sorry about that. My nose was just, I was gonna like sneeze there, like having like a little bit of allergy here. No big deal. But yeah, so a lot of stability here at Elisa Prime. That's very nice. Can we move people over there yet? Almost. Let's watch this mixed industry. Click over. Oh, wait. Hold on. Council agenda is about to pop off. Mixed industry just completed. Very nice. So that should have gained us 50 metallurgist jobs, 50 artisan jobs. Now, when we look here at our jobs, we have 69 nice available. Bunch of metallurgists. Wow, tons of metallurgists. That's, of course, because we have the 50 from mixed industry, but also we have 200 from our alloy foundries, which is fine. But why are amenities so low? Will that stabilize? We have the provided amenities from buildings, from pop jobs, but we're sitting low just by a little bit. We would have to fill up some more colonist jobs to get that stabilized. Yeah, interesting. We could deprioritize the soldier jobs. Yeah, we could do that. I almost think we should build a temple here. I always think we should build temples. Although this planet is not geared towards the priesthood, I believe our priests do give us a good chunk of amenities. At some point, the colonist jobs will go away. But yeah, let's jump in here. What could we do? We could do the temple, and it would yield plus 200 amenities. That's not bad. It would get us the unity we always like. Or we could do the Autochthon Monument. That would not get us amenities. I do want one of the Autochthon monuments on every single one of our planets. But we have a little bit of an amenities issue here right now. We could use more pops. Yeah, I'm going to build the temple. And I'm going to build the Autochthon monument second. Now, can we send people over here right now? We only have 69 jobs available. Let's send 100. That should fill up those colonist slots and the metallurgist slots. We still have enough housing available. Remember, every time we pack more people in, we use more amenities. Every single person consumes a certain amount of amenities per person. That's the whole point of it. So yeah, let's roll around to Fula. Let's jump to the No tab. Let's go to Resettle. Let's jump to Elisa Prime, and let's grab some civilians and send them on over here. Boom. Right there. We'll close that down. Close that down. Close that trait. Let's take a look at our council agenda. So, Evolving Society is ready to go. This will push our monthly unity from 10% to 40%. Positive gains. Boom. That is huge. That is going to last for 121. No, sorry. Active for another 10 years. This is going to jump up considerably. Probably to around 190-ish. Maybe 200. It's going to go up a lot. And we can now, there's no agenda set. Let's see what other agendas are available. So we click this little click to see agenda list. We only have 2 available agendas right now. These were the launched agendas. They are cooling down. And you can see there the agenda infinite opportunities is on a cooldown until 2232. So a long time. That's like 19 years? Yeah, a long time. What about our evolving society? It is currently active. So until that is done, the cooldown won't stop. So we have to choose one of these other two. We should always be working on an agenda. Agendas are just something that your council passively works on. I don't think it costs you anything to run an agenda. I don't think. So what do we have? Higher purpose. I'm super stuffed up right now. Sorry. Initial modifier would be citizen happiness plus 5%. Spiritual ethics attraction plus 10%. Okay. And once it's launched, we would gain 50 unity per 100 priests. Oh my gosh. We have a lot of priests. Now, is that a one-time payout? Yes. It is not a monthly gain. My gosh, that would be game breaking relative to the 156 unity we're making a month right now. It's a one-time payout though. In this case, it's telling us it would be 480 unity based off the number of priests we have available. We have a temple en route right now. What's the other one? We come in peace? Border friction, trust cap, naval cap. That is not good for us. Nor do we want to really push forward the pacifist ethics. We're not fanatic pacifists. We're fanatic spiritualists, folks. And then interesting, the launch event, every non-genocidal plus every non-genocidal civilization we're in contact with will have a plus 25% to trust with us. They're like, hey, these guys don't want to genocide us, so I trust them a little bit more. Now we're going to go for higher purpose. That's the agenda we're going to work on. It's going to take 121 months to launch, so 10 years. Okay, awesome. Let's run the clock around here.
Anomaly found.
Boom. Okay, very cool. Anomaly, the ISS Amon picked up here. What do we got? Voidborn Mary found an easy anomaly. This is of unknown origin in the Bivham system. The material composition of this asteroid differs significantly from its neighbors. It likely has a different origin than the other bodies of this asteroid belt and should be investigated more closely. Sure, she can rock that out in 67 days. We're in no rush. I will investigate it. Awesome. So the Atalante is still doing the survey, and we're backfilling. That's what we decided to do. What's happening in the Castro system right now? The Conway is working on that starbase. Fantastic. We'll watch that progress go. There it is. Conway just finished. So what else can we have the Conway work on? Well, we only have the one constructor ship, right? Yeah. We could have them backfill, get these stations built up. So yeah, we'll just right click and have them work on the mining station. I'm shift clicking and we'll have them work on the research station. So they'll get both of those stations built up. It's eating into our minerals pretty good, but our mineral production is climbing steadily. We haven't quite doubled it, but we pushed it up 60-70% on this playthrough. Not bad. Excuse me. So let's jump in here to the Castor system. Here's our colony ship. Right click on Castor, colonize planet. This is just a quick summary of what we're going to get out of it. Looks like they're focused heavily on energy generator districts. That's cool. Our energy is actually starting to get a bit low. So maybe this new planet could be the energy production planet. Possibly, yeah. Let's colonize it. We'll hit OK. I didn't really look at the planetary features. Once we have the colony there, we can dig in a little bit, see if there's any specialty colony features, blockers, whatever. There we go. Construction complete. And we'll run the clock forward. Oh, you know what I wanted to do is I just wanted to check back in here at our worlds. Let's see how we're doing from the surface tab. So we always want to look in at our stability. That's in good shape. It's deep in the green. Plenty of people. No crime. Plenty of surplus housing. Plenty of surplus amenities. 56K surplus amenities. That's nuts. No extra jobs. Oh, okay. No, that matters a bit, though. Look, we have 1,000 civilians, but we do have unemployed elites. Not a lot we can do about that. We have unemployed specialists. We have unemployed workers. Okay. What would I like to do? I would like to maybe build another city district right now. What would that get us? What would another city district would get us? More physicists, biologists, engineering jobs, more priest jobs, more metallurgists, more artisans. That's a decent mix. And it would help certainly with these unemployed specialists here. Our food is sitting okay. If you recall, we're selling off 30 food. I only point that out because if we were ever to get dangerously low on food, we don't necessarily rush out and make more farming jobs. We would probably just sell less food. We also have a little bit of headroom there with our energy. So now we're trying to maintain a positive trade surplus. So that's part of the reason why we're balancing what we're purchasing, in this case, alloys, minerals, and consumer goods, with what we're selling, right? We're not trying to build up a lot of extra trade. We've talked about this. We're just trying to in general, keep it slightly positive. So we always have a little bit in our piggy bank. But yeah, we're sitting it pretty good with that. Yeah, I would like to get more of these people employed. So let's. Oh, we don't have the minerals. We need to save up minerals. Never mind. They're just going to sit there for now. Let's run this forward. Let's take a look at Isius. How's our mining going? Hold on a sec. Coprolite asteroid. Oh, we found a giant space turd. Sweet. Hold on a sec. Just looking over here at our jobs. That's looking good. A lot of miners. And with the mining specialty, yeah. It's not a bad amount of mineral production. When you look at it, mineral production is our second most abundant production after Unity. And you can see our Unity jumped up to 184. Oh, interesting. Huh. Is our the agenda we launched isn't reflected in this? What am I missing here? I would figure that it would show that plus 40% under our Unity production, but I'm not seeing it. Base buildings, factions, jobs. Oh. All right, hold on. We'll leave these windows open. Let's go to our government. Hover over evolving society. Monthly Unity. That's it's monthly. It's going to last all 10 years. In the way it's described, that is empire-wide, civilization-wide. I'm just surprised it's not reflected in the number here. Huh. Okay. I'm trying to think of how else we could see that. If we went to a priest job, potentially. Here, let's close the government tab. Mouse over our priests. I'm not seeing it here either. If you notice, under the planet modifier, spiritualist ethics attractions giving us a plus 5% boost. Approximate job production is up to 17 from like 13 or 14. That must be where it's at. But bear in mind, priests aren't the only things that generate unity. The Autochthon Monument generates unity. Do we... Here, let's just roll around. I'm curious now. Here we go. Yeah, there it is. So, Evolving Society Agenda, plus 40%. Okay, so it's reflected there. But it should be for all unity. From buildings, from... I'm just trying to think through. Buildings, sure. From leaders... I would imagine if there's a leader from our jobs. I really thought you would just see it here. Okay. We don't. It is what it is. Okay. But we know it at least exists. We have verification there that when we look at the Autochthon Monument, we're getting that Evolving Society Agenda 40% boost. We'll call it good. Stacked on top of being Fanatic Spiritualist, Planetary Unification, and the One Vision, we have massive boost to our unity. That's not a bad thing. We'll close that down. Let's look at the Coprolite asteroid. Although it is difficult to accept, all indications point towards asteroid YZ9-44-Delta 1 being a coprolite, a piece of fossilized feces. from some kind of massive life form. It appears to be almost 1 billion years old, and much of the fossil's original organic composition has been replaced by mineral deposits. Our scientists are baffled as to what kind of creature could have produced something like this. I'll tell you what's even more interesting, though, is that the only way for the organic material to have been replaced by mineral material, fossilized, that's the fossilization process, is all your organics, minerals seep in there, usually through water, right? Deposition, is that what they call it? But in the void of space, that really couldn't happen. Even in like a nebula cloud, the molecules in space are so spread out that even an asteroid couldn't bump into enough of them randomly for that deposition to happen, meaning that this space turd must have been dropped on a planet, and it fossilized there. That planet was then destroyed and then launched into space, or possibly it was dropped in a comet, like a large comet, and then that comet came apart and the fossilized space feces was then launched into orbit in the asteroid belt, right? But it can't fossilize in space. That's my only point. I think we all understand that. Something can't fossilize in space. There's got to be minerals to interact with it. But it came from a really large creature. I think that's what's so fascinating, is how big the space turd is. Remarkable. Remarkable. Add society +3? Yeah. It's like a tourist attraction. I don't know. I'll take it. Cool. And that will pop up somewhere. Right there at Bivham. All right, we're going to pause. We got a lot of stuff popping up here. What do we got? New trait for Slippery Beard. Awesome. Fortifier trait. Unyielding and Fortifier. Oh, excellent. Fortifier is Empire effect as a counselor. Slippery Beard is our Minister of Defense. Remember, we made that change out because we needed there was something about Slippery Beard. I can't remember what it was, but if you recall, we did reassign that, I believe. But here's what we get. Starbase upgrade cost -7%. Defensive platform build cost -7.5%. Starbase hull points +5. And defensive platform hull points +5. That is really good. In conjunction with the unyielding, which only, well, that doesn't really do jack for us. That's only if they're in command of a military fleet, which they're not. So, but yeah, this is really good for us. The Fortifier trait is nice. Is it useful right now? Not right now, but 30, 40 years from now, when Slippery Beard's an old man, it could be really nice for us. I'm assuming Slippery Beard's a man. Is there a way to tell? Can I tell? Let's see. So, male, yeah, awesome, and only 38, so they'll be around for 40, maybe 50 years. So that's cool. I was trying to remember, though, why it was useful for us to... Maybe because they're pacifists? Okay, I'm not going to overthink it. I remember we switched around one of the counselor positions a couple episodes ago. It's been a while. But yeah, Slippery Beard is growing, so that's nice. And they've presumably just reached level 2, which is also good. It doubles the... It doubles something. I don't know. What are they doing? They're acting as the governor here, right? On Elisa Prime specifically. So yes, that is yielding this planetary governor effects. That's good. That's good. Soldier jobs +100. Does that mean soldier jobs have kicked over to +200? No. It's just... Is it? Okay. We'll just let it go. I'm not going to look into it too much more deeply. What else do we got? System surveyed. Awesome. The Halvem system is complete. A lot of energy there. Let's just click in real quick. A 3 and a 4. The 4 is pretty good. We'll want to harvest that energy at some point. But yeah, otherwise, let's send them on to survey this system. There we go. Just kind of make sure everyone's got a job to do. They're surveying. The Castor Prime is under colonization. The Conway is building a research station. Cool. So everyone has a job to do. I like that. And then here we go. We get another pick. This should be a good way to wrap up the video here. We're at 1 hour right now. So let's do this. Let's take the career network. It's our only option. You'll notice we're at 107 on stability. We finally pushed through. We will select that. Yes. This has not modified yet, but when we roll the clock around, we'll watch that. See, we can do it right now here. We'll run through these few days. There we go. Actually, I think it just took a day. There we go. We went from 107 in empire size to 94. That's significant. That was a big change. It pushed us back down below 100 for a little bit longer. FYI, unless you're going to run like a 3-planet empire, and even then, you're not going to be able to keep your empire size below 100 forever. Why? Because a lot of your empire size is tied to your systems in your colonies, meaning the number of planets you colonized, but it's also tied to the number of districts and the number of pops. So even if you're playing a very tiny empire with just 1 or 2 systems and just 2 or 3 planets, that's cool, but you're going to, over time, build out those districts, and you're going to grow your population massively, which will push your empire size above 100. But yeah, you can, as you look in here, you can see the courier network minus 25%, minus 25%. Those are green minuses because they're beneficial to you. I think we've talked about that before. And pacifism, that relates just to the population. Our pacifists, I guess, live in unity with each other, so they can be more confined, or they need less space being pacifists. They're peaceful to one another internally, not just to the Xenos, but to the neighbor. Oh, well, there you go. What's the opposite of a Xeno? Xeno means the alien in Latin or something, right? Or Greek? I don't know. What is it when you're not an alien? Huh. Oh, I would like to know. If anyone has that in the comments, I'm curious, right? Xenophile or means alien lover or the other, right? But what is the Latin or Greek, I can't think of the fucking word, the phrase for the self? Not the other, but the self? Or not the alien foreigner, but the countryman? The brother? Oh gosh. I'm thinking like Phileas. No, that's probably truth or sameness. Maybe Phileas? Philo? Let me know. I'll stop talking about it. Let me know, folks. You get what I'm saying, right? Like, what's the opposite of a countryman versus a foreigner in Greek or Latin? The opposite is Xeno. Let me know. I'm curious. We want to learn things here. Okay, but here's what we did. Let's look though. A lot of cool things just happened here, and we'll finish up the video for today. We grabbed courier networks. We also finished the expansion tree, right? Tradition. And when we finish, adopting all expansion traditions grants max districts +1 on non-artificial planets only. Ascension perk unlocked. So our 3 colonies we have so far should have all gained 1 additional district. That's cool. More space. And now, granted, we have to develop the districts. We have to build the district for it to count up here. When we talk about empire size 19 districts, those are districts we've built, right? We have the area or the space on all of our planets for probably 100 districts right now, but we haven't built or developed the districts. So, but yeah, we gained 3. And then empty ascension perk. Here we go. And I always equivocate on these. Let's just scroll down. This is just our second. Yeah, this will be our second ascension perk. So there's some perks down here that are still locked away, like where you have to choose 3 or something. It requires 2 other ascension perks to be selected first for Galactic Force. So we can't even choose that yet. But up here, did we gain anything new? I don't know. Interstellar Dominion would reduce the cost of claiming new systems, claim influence, starbase influence cost. That would, in empire size from systems, minus 50%. That would stack on that minus 25%, giving us minus 75% to our empire size from systems. That would be pretty cool. Now is a good time to take Interstellar Dominion if you're going to take it at all. I think we talked about this, right? Getting those reductions to these starbase influence costs, right? Because we're spending, what is it, 69, 68 influence per claim, and we want to keep expanding for a bit yet. So it would save us all that time. And then ultimately through the whole game, the empire size reduction would always benefit us through the whole long term, right? So do we get it now? Maybe. Grasp the Void, starbase capacity +5. we don't need it. We have plenty of headroom for starbases, and we don't have the alloy to develop that many right now. So later, maybe Grasp the Void, but for right now, no, zero use to us. Technological ascendancy, that's a pretty good one. Research speed +10%. Rare technologies appear more often. That wouldn't hurt. That's always a good pick. Consecrated Worlds. I like Consecrated Worlds because it leans into our play. We're spiritualists. I almost should take it just because of that. But I don't think it's a very good pick. When you consecrate up to 3 worlds, if you could consecrate more planets, like 5 planets or 8 planets, I think it would be a pretty solid tradition pick. Ascension perk, sorry. But it's only 3. And when you claim them, when you consecrate them, I believe it means that you can't colonize them. So you're locking them out for you. And the bonus you get to Unity from these consecrated worlds is related to how good the world is. So for instance, we found an ocean world, right? We surveyed an ocean world. It's at a 20% habitability. We don't want to colonize it, period. We just like, I don't care. So we could consecrate that, but I think it would be considered a basic bad world. It's like, who the hell cares? I don't think our people would be very impressed. Versus like a Gaia world or Echinopolis world or something like that, right? Okay. Consecrating uninhabited planets up to 3 increases spiritual ethics, attraction, empire-wide amenities. Oh, we get amenities too, empire-wide. That's actually not bad. As well as unity generation, scaling to the spiritual significance of the worlds consecrated. Yeah. Spiritual significance, though, I believe, when they say spiritual significance of the world consecrated, I believe that spiritual significance is related to how good the world is. Again, good, very ethereal wording here. I think that would lean into our role play pretty heavily. So I am tempted to do it. Technological ascendancy is a great pick, but it doesn't lean into the fiction of how we're playing being fanatical spiritualists, right? It's like, do we want more research? Yeah, but we're deliberately not getting more research. Like we're very deliberately not pursuing scientists. So why would we claim that and just be like, we're gonna cheat a little bit. We're gonna dip our toes into research. No technology. It's bad. It's very bad. What else we got? Mastery nature, blocker clear, plus some max districts. That's cool. But we don't need any of that now. Imperial prerogative. Empire size for planets minus 50%. That's awesome. That also would stack with the courier networks. So big downs in a positive way. Hold on. I don't want to sneeze on screen. Executive vigor. Edict fund plus 100%. Council agenda speed plus 15%. That's not bad. Transcendent learning. Leader experience gain plus 25%. Leader upkeep minus 15. Scientist capacity plus 2. Ooh, that's not bad. The nice thing about that is the leader upkeep minus 15% is for all leaders, not just scientists. And the same is true for leader experience gain. It's all leaders. That's not bad. Why? Because the leader upkeep, we are spending unity to upkeep our leaders. And as our leaders, it's not very much. It's 2 unity per level, right? So when you start out the game, you've got a handful. You got like 6 leaders or whatever. I don't know, and 2 unity each. But our leaders have been leveling up, as you've noticed. We're getting level 2, level 3. So that means that they're costing us 4 unity or 6 unity, and we've gained a couple leaders. So getting a 15% reduction to their upkeep could put a handful of unity back in our pocket. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. And then finally, shared destiny. It's envoy stuff. Yeah, we don't we're not really dealing with aliens yet, so not useful. So listen, I like transcendent learning. Executive, I'd say transcendent learning would be like maybe an A tier for us. Executive vigor would be like a B tier. It doesn't suck. Imperial prerogative would be like a B tier. It's not bad. Master of Nature is not ready yet. Consecrated World, I think, is what we should take. I don't think it's great. I just think it matches with the theme of our civilization. We are playing a species. We are trying to like be them and do the things that are important to them. Does it mean that it leads to conquest of the galaxy and winning the game of the universe? Maybe not. But if you're trying to like play their society the way they would play it, sometimes it's okay to not. We're playing pacifist spiritualist, FYI. The goal ain't to go conquer the galaxy, literally. So let's lean into that. Let's take Consecrated Worlds. I think in many, many of your playthroughs, you wouldn't choose this, but we're going to do it just for the flavor. And you know what? Listen, we got a lot of other Ascension perks coming up as we play. We'll hit some of those other ones. Maybe we'll never take the technological special test. You know, we'll never dip into that possibly. But we did it. That's it. I think that's a good stopping point. I think the next time we play through, we should do what? I think we're sitting good on everything. It may be time to get another scientist or two out there. Let's look into that. We have headroom for 2 more scientists. Yeah. Let's get 2 more science ships going and just start pushing the boundaries more. So I'd say we focus on that, and then we'll just peek back in at our colonies and make sure the balance between stability, jobs, housing, and amenities is correct, and that people are employed where we want them. Okay? If you watched, thank you so much, folks. Until next time, take care.